There really has been a misunderstanding. And for that, I'm sorry and I apologize for that. I do have great faith in both the scientific community and the regulatory community at the UK. And anyone who knows me and my relationship with that over literally decades know that's the case. The point that was really trying to make, and I did not make it appropriately well, and that's the reason why I welcome the opportunity to get on your show and say that I do have confidence it came out wrong and that was not the way I meant it to be.
Well, Benjamin Neuman is a professor and chair of biological sciences at Texas A&M University. He joins us now. Thanks very much indeed for being with us on the News Hour today. So Dr. Fauci has now rode back on his comments about the UK's method of approving the vaccine being less deep. But is there a genuine concern that it might not have been checked thoroughly enough?
Well, I think that concern is kind of encapsulated in the type of approval that was given. So the UK, like other countries, has many different varieties of approval. And this one that the Pfizer vaccine has been given is called an emergency use authorization. That means that on a rolling basis, the UK body that's in charge of approving these things is going to look at this and evaluate results. And just like what we saw with hydroxychloroquine in the US, if it comes to a point where the benefits do not seem to be matching up to what they should be, then the approval could be pulled. It's a temporary thing and a useful stopgap that can only occur during an emergency like COVID-19.
And how much do you think these concerns undermine the potential take-up of the vaccine, both in the UK and the US? And how vital is it that as many people get vaccinated as possible?
Yes, I don't think these concerns should alter anybody's decision on whether or not to get the vaccine. And from what we've seen, even in people with some autoimmune conditions, it looks as though these same conditions would lead to greater risk from COVID-19. And so a vaccine is probably going to be recommendable in any case, although this would be a matter between a patient and their doctor at the time when they were getting this vaccine. But I think overall, the safety numbers are what we should look at. And from the phase 1 and 2 clinical trials, those safety numbers are available to the general public and the scientific community. They look very good for all of the leading candidates, including the Pfizer vaccine and some of the others that seem to be just behind, like the Moderna vaccine, for example.
So at what point can we potentially look forward to some kind of general immunity in the population?
That's a good question, and that's a question for the epidemiologists. There's a lot of argument about whether or not some kind of group immunity is even going to be possible. If the worst predictions turn out to be true, those would show that the antibodies seem to be dropping off at a rate where people might be susceptible again within about 6 months. And the idea that we could get around to the entire country and vaccinate everyone within a 6-month period is really asking a lot. Technically, theoretically possible, but there's a very big logistical barrier there. However, some of the more recent results show that at least in younger people, the immunity may be a little bit more durable. I think the problem here is that we have a fairly new virus, and all of the studies, including the vaccine studies, are relatively short term. So I'm not particularly worried about long-term negative effects, but I am worried about how durable and how long-lasting the protection would be. So that's a reason maybe not to get, or rather, that's not a reason to not get the vaccine. That's more a reason to get the vaccine a little bit more often, or at least consider that.
Okay, good to talk to you. Benjamin Neuman from Texas A&M University. Thank you.